What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at Sorority Boys. Let's waste no time. Let's get right into it. Overall, I've always had a soft spot for this movie. I like Sorority Boys. This movie came out in the year 2002. I was 12 years old. I have not seen this movie since at least 2004. It's been a very long time since I've seen Sorority Boys. I remember liking it a lot when I was in my early teens. It reminded me of American Pie. Had that same style of crass, humor. I mean, you watch this movie now. If this movie's even made now, it would not go over well at all. It's a very, it's a movie that would be labeled as being offensive and sexist and paint everything in a bad light. But for someone like me who gets the joke, this movie is just stupid. That's it. Sorority Boys is a stupid, dumb, fun movie that's held together by the three main characters, Doofer, Dave, and Adam, played by Harland Williams, Michael Rosenbaum, and Barry Watson. The three of these guys, they hold this movie together as the three frat brothers who get kicked out of the sorority house because they're being accused of stealing. So as a way to try and clear their names, they got a pledge to an all-girls sorority house known as the Dogs, who have a rivalry with the KOK group. So that's really the whole premise of the movie. It's just a bunch of college frat boys dressing up like girls to try and clear their names. But the humor comes with them trying to assimilate into girl life. And if you actually watch the movie, it actually pokes fun at the whole concept of pokes fun of the point of view of how man will treat how man looks at woman and how a woman looks at a man. Like, the movie actually has some, halfway smart things to say about itself. I mean, this movie is not all of a sudden writing gospel or anything like that. It's done in a very jokey, comical way. And of course, the entire movie is not a social commentary or anything like that. But it does have those, little things. And like these three frat boys who pretty much undermine women, they got to become women, and they learn more about women, and especially the group of women that their sorority house goes after because they're different, or because they're this, or because they're that. They learn to appreciate, accept. And the girls, particularly the head of the house, she also learns to grow and accept in her own little way, because she ends up having a crush on the character of Dave, who is disguised as a girl named Daisy. So, you do have some of those little things here and there that, okay, this movie's stupid and dumb, but at least it's trying to say something. Now, in terms of the jokes, I think this movie's still funny. That's just me personally. This movie is my style of humor. That very crass, American Pie-esque type of sex comedy, and I'm all for it. The three main principals, they are a lot of fun. Barry Watson as the character of Dave. He's more of the how could you say? He's more of the soulful, not that much of a womanizer type of guy. And you got the character of Doofer, who is like the typical college, just burnout. The guy doesn't even know where he is half the time. And the character of Adam, he's that typical jock who just wants to bang everything he sees. Like, the three characters are very one-dimensional of the college life, but the actors bring a lot of charisma to the role, especially Michael Rosenbaum, who is really, really good, just in general. And I liked him in this movie. But the three principals, they work really well off one another. Like, if you gotten any other actors to play these roles, I don't think it would have worked. You needed these three because they bounce off one another. Now, Barry Watson, he's not as charismatic as an actor as a Harlan Williams or Michael Rosenbaum, but he does hold his own as being like the normal type of guy who doesn't want to do some of the things he has to do. But that's just the way it is. It works. A lot of the scenes of the guys trying to act like girls are really, really funny. Especially the subplot of this character named Jimmy, who's trying to bone Adam, who's dressed up as this girl named Adina. And of course, it does have a payoff. Thank God we don't actually see it, but it's implied heavily that something did happen, and that's actually a little too much for my taste. I didn't really get a whole lot of laughs out of that one. That's just me personally. I didn't really laugh at it back then, and I didn't really laugh at it now. But the stuff with Roberta trying to befriending all the girls, and they all get freaking high off their minds, that shit was hilarious. The relationship between Dave and Leah, who is the leader of the house, that was done fairly well. It's a believable relationship enough where I do care. So that's all good. That's all good. The ongoing storyline of this character named Spence, who's the one who embezzled the money. The rivalry he has with the three frat boys. It's okay. It's nothing great. The actor has an annoying voice and just has the world's most punchable face. So that is what it is. Uh, some of the more comedic moments of this movie happen pretty much during this football game of the dogs versus this tri-pie house. That was a lot of fun. The whole third act on the boat where the dogs infiltrated, that was fun too. And you got some other good comedic bits sprinkled all throughout. Like this Sorority Boys is not a high comedy movie. I mean, if you want a sex comedy that's actually better, well written with better characters, watch the first three American Pie movies, even American Wedding, 'cause I like American Wedding. But you can watch the mainline American Pie movies, and you're gonna get better written characters that are more likable. I mean, in Sorority Boys, I mean, yeah, these three frat brothers, some of them can come across as being a little too crass and a little too unlikable, but that is what it is. And the story, yeah, if you look at it with a modern context, it can be problematic. I mean, it's not problematic to me because I don't give a shit. But to someone who just wants something to complain about, yeah. But if you actually watch the movie and you get the joke, it's not really all that bad. It's harmless for what it is. The Sorority Boys is a movie that has fallen to the sands of time. Not everybody remembers this movie unless you're somebody who actually liked this movie like me. Or if you're somebody who just saw it once, you forgot about it because it's really a disposable sex comedy that you've seen 100 times before. It just takes place in a college setting. We've all seen movies of dudes dressing up like girls and shit like that. But yeah, to put a cap on the review, I still like a Sorority Boys. It's a fun middle of the road comedy. It's not that long. It's really, really short. I give it a 5 out of 10. It does have some good moments here and there. It ain't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of the jokes really don't land. But the three principals, you can tell they're having a lot of fun. And this movie does have a lot of legit funny sequences. Even though I'm not a big fan of Jimmy trying to hit on his brother, the scene of the scene of Adam fighting off Jimmy while as Adina is actually pretty funny and really hilarious in a lot of ways, in a lot of areas, I should say. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for Sorority Boys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.